Hey guys, it's Maya. I wanted to touch base back with you guys and let you know how my first semester of nursing school went. My first semester started in August of 2018, and then we finished up December 11th of 2018. It is now January, and we're a week away from me starting my second semester. And I just wanted to share with you guys my experience and maybe a few study tips that I used, because I know everyone's different, but I just wanted to share with you how I got through it. So luckily I passed, and I don't know, in the beginning it was just a super stressful experience because it's a wide range of information, and I went out and I sought a lot of help from different professors, during their office hours. But it seemed like it was just, they felt like they couldn't teach me the material without giving me the answers. I'm like, I do not want the answers from you. I just need extra help. And it seems like they didn't know how to give that because the information was so broad. So like if you had a specific question, they could explain it. But like you just coming to them for extra help, it was kind of hard to find. So basically, in the beginning it was super stressful. Then towards the end I kind of started seeing the light, and I'm like, okay, it probably won't be that bad. Obviously it can be done because people are doing it. So I had to motivate myself in that way, also knowing that if I did fail the first semester, that I could just retake the sorry, my boyfriend's talking. Okay, he's not talking to me. Knowing that if I did fail, I could just retake it. But the thing is, I didn't want it to be my first semester and I failed. And you can only fail one time in nursing school. And then after that, you're out of the program and you have to reapply and do all this extra, and I was just like, I'd rather go ahead and pass on my first try and, just move on and just move forward. Because right now, I am 24, so just thinking about having to repeat a full semester and be another semester behind on getting my degree, I just did not want to experience that. So me and my friend, I actually met a very close friend in nursing school. Basically, we studied together, we motivated each other. Anytime I needed extra help, I would call her, or just motivation in general, or conversation in general, I would call her and she would do the same for me. We tell each other all the time, like, I'm so thankful to have you because I would not be able to get through nursing school without you. And, we really enjoyed that we found each other. You're going to find probably one or two people that you're really close with in nursing school because no one understands what you're going through. And unless they're in the same situation as you. There's a lot of people that can say, yeah, no, I understand because, it's this way, but it's like, but you're not experiencing it with me. You're not in the same class as me. You're not taking the same exams as me. Maybe you've heard of it, but it's like you're not in those shoes. You have empathy, but you can't actually feel the way I feel. So that's why it's good to find, a friend that you could talk to in nursing school. I mean, everyone's different. Some people might not like to find someone to talk to, but I definitely needed to, and I'm glad she did as well. So I guess what made it so stressful, again, like it was just a wide range of information, whereas yes, the whole semester throughout nursing school will be, but it'll be more grouped together. Like I remember there was one test we got tested on fluid and electrolytes, respiratory, GI system, GU system, and like two completely other different things, and they're all different chapters. And I'm like, how do you want me to do this? But luckily I got through it. It's a lot of time management. I understand what people mean when they say that, but I didn't actually put two and two together until I was actually like had every day planned out of the week of what I was going to study and what I was going to study if I didn't get to study that. Like, it's just a constant roller coaster that you have to just ride and just take the time to actually enjoy it, because it goes by so fast, which is a good thing, because that was one of the most stressful things I've ever experienced, and am going to continue to experience until May of 2020. I cannot wait. So also I wanted to update you guys. I did get a new job at a hospital because someone actually on my last video recommended that I did that, and kind of looked into the shoes of a nurse, or actually like just shadow a nurse or something like that, because they felt like nurses are overworked, and they just had their certain opinions about it, which is fine. Like, everyone's different. So long story short, I had been wanting to get a job at a hospital. That was actually one of my goals. But the thing is, if you have ever tried to apply to a hospital, they don't just accept everyone. All applicants do not get hired. And I had been applying for years, but it wasn't until I was in nursing school that I actually got the opportunity to work there. So I now work with Texas Health Resources, and I do see how nurses work. I work in a unit, so it's a little different probably than the emergency room or something, or one another, whatever. But what I'm saying is, I actually see the nurses, and I actually see what they do, and I see how they work day to day. And it actually put me in a position to where I want to be a nurse even more, you know what I mean? So nursing isn't a field that you do because you want something easy. I think someone got the misunderstanding that I was looking for an easy job, but it has to be something that you do from the heart. And if I will work as a CNA for a third of the income of a nurse, and do more hands-on than a nurse, and do more of assisting, like the dirty work, if I'll do the dirty work for 1/3 of the cost of nursing, like being a nurse, then obviously I'm not doing it for the money, because I get disgusted day in and day out of what I come in contact with. But the joy is when people thank you genuinely and hug you, and you meet the families. And I got the comment of one patient. He was like, "Oh, you're my daughter." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yep, we've adopted you. Welcome to the family." And the whole family just laughed, and we joked about it. And it's one of the greatest feelings when you can make an impact on someone's life. So again, if I'll do the dirty work for less, I'm not doing it for the income. I'm not doing it for the simplicity of it. I actually love working. I'm on a path that I want to be on, and I'm really not complaining. The dental assistant thing, I enjoyed it, but it was kind of like just a job, if you know what I mean. I didn't enjoy going to work every day. I never wanted to get up early in the morning. And with this job, I actually work overnight. So it's not that I have a lot of energy to go to work, but I actually want to go to work. And I notice the difference between when I want to do something and when I don't, because it's just that much easier to do. Like, yes, I'm tired, but at the end of the day, I want to be doing this, so I don't really complain as much. Even my boyfriend notices a difference. Like, he's like, "Well, you're not really complaining. It must be easy." I'm like, "No, it's not easy, but I actually like what I'm doing, so I'm not going to complain about it." Like, my last job, I was like, I'm about to quit. Like, anything wrong happened, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to quit." And he's like, no, you're not. You need the income. You know, we have bills and whatnot. And still, I was like, especially when I got in nursing school, I was like, oh no, this is too much. I'm going to quit. And he's just like, no, no, you're not. You can't do that. But I've yet to have that feeling in the hospital. And yes, I just started, but you know, I know my feelings. Like, I know exactly how I feel when I go to work, so I know that I can do this for a long time. I already want to retire there. I just love everything about it. So back to the nursing school. I don't know if you guys like want to see maybe my planner that I had. But I used to literally, when it was down to crunch time, or, you know, if I was just super busy with work, because I did work at the minimum 36 hours in the beginning of nursing school. And then towards October, so from August to October, I was doing 36 hours. In October, I was like, no, my grades are kind of rocky. And I saved up before nursing school just in case I had to quit my job. So I was like, well, I might need to go down to 2 days. So that's when I did 2 days on the weekend. So that's 24 hours. And I was just like, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, because the patient, she was really mean. And I get that, you know, I'm going to always experience something like that. But to experience it with one person, this is when I was doing home health before the hospital job. It was like, okay, you're stressing me out. You're calling me an idiot every day. You're calling me stupid every, you know, weekend or whatever. Every time I worked, I'm just like, you know, please, you know, I'm trying to be positive right now. It was a mind thing. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm going to experience that a lot, but at the same time, taking the hardest test of my life, and then on the weekends, or, you know, right before the test or right after the test, to hear that you're an idiot and that you're dumb. Like, I'm a sensitive person, and I take things kind of personal. I take everything personal. It could like not even be about me or be rude, and I would take it personal. So to hear that every week, I was just like, no thanks. So I finally told them that I couldn't do that. So that's when I just started picking up a few hours, like whenever they needed someone to fill in. That's whenever I would just pick up little small jobs, small hours, or, you know, 12 hours a week or just something like that, because again, school came first. I saved my money before school came, so that way if I needed to quit, I could. And it got to the point where I couldn't handle it, which is okay. We're all human. You know, it got to the point where I couldn't handle it, so I let it go. I'm trying to accomplish more in life. Again, I'm 24, so I'm trying to get things moving, and I want more income. I want to feel like I'm fulfilled in life, like I'm fulfilling my purpose, and again, continue to grow from there. So, so I made that choice. And now I work at the hospital full-time, 36 hours. And again, it may get stressful, but this time around, I'm not going to quit my job, because, you know, I want to stay a part of the Texas Health Resource family. So that way, when I do get my degree, then they could possibly offer me a job. And that way my job is secured. And that would make me super happy. Like, I already know the staff. I'm not walking into anything brand new. I already have the hang of it. And it would be so much more, such an easier transition than if I were to quit and then start all over. So I'm going to tough it out this time. It's going to be really, really tough, I believe, but I'll have to catch you guys up on that. I guess I'll start talking about my study tips. I don't really have much, but at the same time, you know, I've read the book. I've, you know, did all the study questions in the back. I did the practice questions. I did additional tutoring. And I mean, to be honest, you just got to be really motivated because, you know, then again, that all didn't work. Like, I was doing extra questions and tutoring and on top of like a special group that I'm in for diversity, and like nothing worked. I was still kind of like bombing my test because our passing rate is 75, it's not 70. So even if you did make a C that you're used to, like, you're still failing. So at the end of the day, you just have to be determined and do everything you can possibly do to pass. My planner is right here, so I'll show you guys an example of a week that I had in nursing school. Like, just thinking about it, let's see. So I'll just show you guys what I'm looking at. This is August 20th. Yeah, August 20th, and I had something every day. Again, like, first day of clinicals was that Monday. I had to go Tuesday for a study session. Wednesday was my lab, and then I went to then I went to theory, and then 24th, I worked 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then I worked 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then I worked 7 to 7 overnight. The next day, I worked 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then I worked the same thing on the 26th, like, too much. Let's find another page that I actually filled out. Because, you know, a lot of the times I left it blank and then I was like, oh no, we got to get back to organization. So time management. And that's one day. This is the other week. This is 1 week. And this is the other week. Like, it's just so much you just have to keep track of. And then on top of that, keep track of all your bills and, you know, your loved ones' birthdays. And it was just so much. And then what I did, see, this is another week. I kept track down to the point of what I needed, and I fought for it. Like, I don't care if I found some new information, I would just soak it all in. Even if things were contradicting themselves, I would just try to make sense of it. You only see your teacher once a week for a lecture, so you forget the question or they don't get back to you. So that wasn't a reliable resource for me. So I wouldn't go in thinking like I would just ask my teacher 1,000 questions, because one, you're not going to remember, and two, you know, they might not remember, because a lot of times my teacher said, okay, I'll get back with you. And I'm like, when? Next week? And then she would never get back to me. There was points that I think I deserved and I told them about. They never got back to me. Well, write it down, you know, email me. And they never got back with me. So don't rely on your instructors. I don't want to sound rude or down talk them, because that's not the point. It's just like, be self-sufficient and just figure everything out on your own. Maybe you and a buddy that you met in school, because at the end of the day, like, your teachers aren't really, they care about you, but at the same time, my teacher was in a doctorate's program. This is Diamond. Let me introduce you guys to my dog. Look, she wants to get up here. You want to get up here. This is Diamond. This is my baby. I've had her since 2013. She likes to bark. She likes to protect her mommy, but that's just the TV. She's not barking at anything. But she doesn't know that. Yeah, she's like, hey. So, anywho, be self-sufficient. time management. Do a lot of study questions, because a lot of times you may see some that'll pop back up on the test. Get you a friend that'll motivate you, because there's times I did not want to turn something in and she's just like, girl, do it, you know. And I told her, I'm like, come on, I'm gonna beat you. Like, I'm gonna beat you on this assignment. I bet I'll be done by 12. And you know, I actually didn't do it, but she did. So something positive came out of it. And then she'd be like, no, I'm too easy on you. You know, you better do it. So it worked out. Yeah, she doesn't want to get down now. So, in a nutshell, again, my first semester was super tough. There was times I didn't think I was going to make it, but I knew that I was determined, so I was going to do everything I could to make it. So, self-determination, be positive. I did start like eating bad, and I gained weight. And you know, we were all talking about that because it's so stressful. If you know, if you have the mindset to do it, it can be done. But a lot of us just slacked off. Like, I never did my makeup, and one time I did, and people were like, oh my gosh, like, you don't even look like yourself. I'm like, girl, I know. Like, no one's human in nursing school at this point. So, but luckily I passed my first semester, and we'll be starting the next one. It's gonna be super tough, but I'm gonna do it. I wish this was like live so you guys could ask me questions. I had so much to talk about, but my mind completely went blank after starting the video. Stuff you gotta deal with. But if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm trying to think of anything else that's been going on. I don't have anything, but I'm super excited to answer any questions. Positive vibes only. And you know, because like, you guys may have misunderstood. I went out to eat, so she's smelling my food. You guys may have misunderstood something. Like, just ask a question. Don't say like, oh, you said this, but really, it's like, well, every situation's different. Maybe I meant something else and it didn't come out right. So anywho, positive vibes only. Comment me if you have any questions. And I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. And I don't want to just sit here and ramble, so I'm gonna go.